Minutes ago, you had air raid sirens going off here in Kyiv. So as this diplomatic window appears to be opening between Russia and the United States, you're not necessarily seeing the war or the tensions here simmering at this juncture. With the president putting that meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin on the calendar for Friday, and he believes that negotiations can prevail, what he described as the possibility of territorial swaps between Russia and Ukraine. But as you rightly pointed out, Anna, so far, no one has been talking about any invitations being extended to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. That is so far not sitting well here in Kyiv, with the Ukrainians saying they want a seat at this negotiating table, and they have no intention of just giving up any land. Take a listen.
The answer to the Ukrainian territorial question already is in the Constitution of Ukraine. No one will deviate from this, and no one will be able to. Ukrainians will not give their land to the occupier.
If you listen to the list of demands that Russia has laid out publicly, they include taking Ukrainian territory that they haven't even annexed yet, places that they don't occupy beyond the front lines. Overwhelmingly, Ukrainians reject such a deal. Now, is it possible that President Trump could negotiate Russia down? Certainly, but there is, quite frankly, inherent distrust here in Ukraine, and that's why the Ukrainians want to be part of these talks in any capacity here. Anna?
That's right. That's right. So Russia wants what they have, and they want more, too. And if history is our guide, we know Ukrainians don't trust Putin to make a deal that's going to be benefiting them. So what's next?
Yeah, that's the big thing here, Anna, because, I mean, you talk to people on the ground here in Ukraine. They have seen this war play out over the last 3.5 years. They have seen the deaths of civilians at the hand of Russia. They have seen even the air raid sirens going off as there's all these conversations about diplomacy. People, frankly, are not convinced that Russia is earnest or serious about making a deal here in Ukraine, one that would be suitable to them. And that's the big part of the reason why the Ukrainians want to have some kind of say in all of these negotiations here. The big thing that you have here, Anna, there's just inherent distrust on the ground here in Ukraine. And people are not convinced that any kind of a deal that could be struck with Russia, that Russia would agree to, would leave them in a suitable situation for the future here. Those are the concerns that Ukrainians have on the ground here. Anna?
All right, NewsNation's Robert Sherman, thank you for that. For much more on this conflict, you got to tune in tonight to a NewsNation special. It's called Ukraine on the Front Lines. It does air tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, only here on NewsNation.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.